Welcome everyone for this new special edition of DevHub Live. This time we'll talk with the dev of Zcash and DevHub about the Zcash and Near Intense Hackathon. And we got this special edition for you, the hackers, the people are building for that hackathons. Just bring your questions, showcase your ideas in the comment section, and we get with us today. Please welcome Paku from Zcash.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
And with us is Guille from Near Dev Hub. Hi,
Hi
Guille. Welcome.
everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We get an exciting update that the new deadline for the hackathon will be this Sunday at midnight. So you got one more weekend to hack. So it's 48 hours full of coding. And that's the goal of this session when you can, like if you're finding a blocker, something is not working with the project, or you just want to, share your ideas and check in like if it's in tune with the tracks, just came and talk with us in the comments. So a quick review here. I would like Paco, if you want with us, review the tracks and add some comments. Sorry, can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
just checking everything is okay. Okay, so can we check the tracks for a moment? Uh, so the first theme that we're covering is AI agents for Zcash. Is building an AI powered trading bot that store, manage, and transact ZEC across the blockchain. The last session we were talking about Zcash and ZEC. If you don't mind, Paco, to make a quick review again about ZEC for the people who are joining last minute to this hackathon.
Yeah, sure. Like 60 seconds of Zcash crash course is Zcash is a big Bitcoin fork from Bitcoin Core in 2015, which was added a zero knowledge proofs to bring privacy to the Bitcoin protocol. And long story short, the technology was awesome, but very, very new at the time. So Zcash became its own project. And there have been many updates to the Zcash protocol until today. But because of being originated as a Bitcoin fork, Zcash has two kinds of transactions. Basically, one kind of transactions is the Zcash transparent, a part of a protocol, which is basically Bitcoin transactions, UTXO model that you already know of. And then you have the possibility to actually go to the shielded side of the protocol, which are the sapling and the orchard pools, which actually leverage the zero knowledge technology that provides complete anonymity and privacy by using zero knowledge proofs to prove that you own a certain amount of ZEC and that you are legitimately spending it, and that you're not double spending it, and that allows you to transact in a decentralized way, and being unlinkable, private, and hiding the recipient, the receiver, and the amount of the transaction that will be in the blockchain, but nobody else other than the person receiving the funds and the person sending the funds will know some of the details of the transaction, and you won't see anything on the blockchain. That's basically what Zcash is. It's fabulous internet money, internet cash.
Awesome. And regarding the track of AI agents for Zcash, and just before jumping into the shield swaps, and what would be the ideal agent that you would like to see running on Zcash level near intense?
Yeah, I think that what Near brings to Zcash is the ability of um, combine ZEC with DeFi, and it would be awesome to see bots that can do different trades and identify opportunities to swap ZEC. Um, and for example, give you, I don't know, it could be give you what the best trade is for in different chains, like using different assets, and also it could be a good use of also a good addition would be that these agents could also tell you um, via the resulting transaction, like how private it will be, and also plus bonus points if you can leverage anything of the shielded protocol. We know that it's not that simple, it's not straightforward, uh, but even if you can like do a transparent ZEC POC and then show a roadmap on how you think it could actually include the shielded protocol, it's a really good start.
That's actually the second track that we offer in this hackathon is the private DeFi, shielded swap, portfolio management, and intent-driven assets trading. Uh, the third track is the cross-chain interoperability. So it's Zcash enabled intent-based transactions across Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and other tokens. And I would love, Guille, if you can bring some light about what near intent is for the people who are joining last minute in this hackathon. And by the way, you can see the link scrolling in your screen if you want to join the hackathon.
Nice. Yes. So near intent is basically just a high-level declaration of what a user wants to achieve, right? Like, think of it as a way of telling the blockchain what you want to do and not how you want to do it. Okay, so instead of saying I want to swap this for this in this exact way, like by calling this a smart contract and executing this function here and this function there, you just simply sign a message saying like, I would like to swap token A for token B at the best price. And what happens is that you sign this intent with your Near account, right? And then you send it to a network of solvers, or you publish it, and there's like a network of solvers that are out there listening for intents, and they can say, for example, you want to swap token A for token B? It's fine. If you provide token A, I can provide this amount of token B, right? And what happens is that you broadcast your intent to the solver network. The solver network, gives you an answer, and that all of the settlements happens on the blockchain, where you can prove that something happened. For example, swapping tokens is one of the simplest things, right? Because I, as a user, can prove to you that I have a transaction hash that shows that I deposit some token, right? Like that I put it there and it's waiting for your swap. And you can prove as a solver or as a provider, right, of liquidity, that you put token B in the chain, right, and that the swap happened. And well, this is the most basic idea, right? Like, and ideally you could take this even further, right? Because you could have solvers for absolutely everything, including, hey, I want to give $100 in exchange of, or I want to buy headphones. And then a solver will say, if you provide 100 USDT, I can provide you with headphones in real life. Then I can show you that I provided 100 USDT because there's a transaction hash. But now, how are you going to show me, or, like, how is the solver going to show me that they actually sent something, right? So the solver could, like, put on chain, hey, okay, perfect, like, here's the number of the tracking number of, like, I don't know, like the Amazon package that I'm sending you, right? And therefore, like, but like, will I receive the product or not? And therefore, like, another important part of intent is like problem solving, or like disputes, right? Like, and how to solve them. But this is beyond this hackathon. Like, we can, with just like the previous part of maybe handling tokens, it's enough for now.
Thank you. And there's a question for both of you. I would like to to hear what are your thoughts about real use cases to use intents for shielded swaps. Why using Zcash in these cases? What are the real use cases that you may find that is important to keep privacy on this transaction and to keep the transaction safe and shield some of the information that is happening. What are your thoughts about it? What will be the use cases that you may find for this integration?
Well, I think that it's um, it's interesting. For example, um, going to this kind of like solver that can provide you with um, some goods. For example, how would you send your address, your shipping address for those headphones? And then you could use Zcash shielded memo to use to actually send the that information. Um, the Zcash shielded transactions have an encrypted memo of 512 characters or bytes that can contain either arbitrary bytes or Unicode bytes that can be read in form of text. So you could actually encrypt your information so that your shipping details are safe, and also you could reply. You could provide a reply to address so that uh, the solver can know where to send you the tracking number. For example, it may be able to. It might be required to sign some message for out of scope, but some dispute resolution that it can prove that it actually sent you the tracking number. But then what it can do as well is to actually provide the real information only to you by using the shielded address you provided in your memo. So that could be one thing, for example. And then, well, you could, for example, if you had instead of a like a physical product, you could say, oh, I want a eSIM or some eSIM or a phone or prepaid line with a, I don't know, 2 ZEC of credit. And then the solver could actually say, yeah, okay, I can do that. And it can acquire the eSIM for you and send you the details over the shielded memo over there and things like that, where this messaging, although it's not capable of holding a lot of information, it should be capable of holding enough information for you to exchange like the crucial parts of your intent with the solver.
Very interesting. Let me ask you a question, Taku. Can you, when you do can you, by using this shielded technology, hide what is my original account? Like, can I prove to you that I made a payment to you, but without you knowing like my origin account?
Yes, because like when you make a payment to me, I will receive your payment, but I won't know that you are the one. I wouldn't know that you're the one sending it. So what you can do is to send me your reply account. There should be possible. It should be possible, and it is possible by the protocol. But I think that we haven't implemented that. It's to actually sign your. You can provide a signature that actually authenticates your memo, but I think that that will require that we implement a few things that we haven't yet, but that we will implement in the next, probably in the next few months.
Well, because I was thinking that something that would be interesting, for example, is that, with the current idea that I just explained of like, buying something online, one of the issues that, like one interesting issue is that, imagine that I go and buy something with Amazon with, my account gile.near, right? And I just want to pay Amazon. I don't necessarily want Amazon to know how much money I have in my account, right? Like
Oh yeah.
neither, like the history of transactions of gile.near. So, like even before, like of course, like hashing my address, which I will also want, like maybe if you're talking with a specific, if I already pay you, maybe you can send me to your website to just put like my address.
Right.
But when I pay you,
Well,
it will be very nice that you don't know how much money I have in my wallet. Do you
oh,
think that
that's
will be?
the beauty of Zcash, that there's nothing to do or to develop there, because that's how shielded Zcash works. What usually happens when some entity wants to accrue that you pay, that they have received payment from a recipient, from a sender, what they do is they generate a new shielded address for that is unique for that use case, right? They know that there's no problem if you reuse a shielded address, because given that the everything is encrypted and it's using zero knowledge proofs, nothing of the shielded address is revealed publicly on the blockchain. Only the fee of the transaction, which Zcash uses a pseudo uniform fee, which all transactions that look alike will have the same fee. So it's not statistically possible to identify a shielded transaction from the fee, because they all use similar fees for the same amount of inputs and outputs. So you can buy whatever, and you don't need to worry about, like, if this is your main account, if it's your savings account, then since the receiver can't learn anything about your holdings, you don't have to, be jumping through hoops on, hey, I need to, I guess, jump through this exchange or try to hit this mixnet to just send this $50. I need to buy this headphones. So the headphone store doesn't know that I've been, hodling for some time, and I've been doing well, right? Um, so
And
that's
and and
not a
this
problem.
Yeah, and these shielded transactions, do they follow the same idea of like a Bitcoin transaction that I just signed with my account, or like are they created in a different way?
They are similarly created as Bitcoin. They do follow a different kind of they are not UTXOs, but shielded nodes, which a shielded node is very similar to what paper node is for cash, with the differences that you will have different. You don't have fixed amounts for those nodes, right? And what you can do, what you do when you send a transaction is that you send you spend your note by creating a zero knowledge proof that says, hey, I have this note that has not been spent ever in the blockchain, and I'll commit this zero knowledge proof to this commitment tree of the Bitcoin, of the Zcash blockchain. That doesn't happen in Bitcoin, for example, because since in Bitcoin everything is transparent, so you don't need to prove anything. Like the blockchain can be verified by the naked eye. And in this case, since everything is shielded, what you do is you rely on zero knowledge cryptography to prove that you haven't spent this note, and you will give the zero knowledge proof to the receiver and to the full node that will be broadcasting your transaction, that will actually verify that it can actually verify the proof, so it can verify that the proof is correct and sound and true. And then you will reveal a nullifier, which is a specific value that you derive from with your private keys to prove that once you reveal a new nullifier, you said, oh, this nullifier is actually the thing that marks my Zcash as spent. And now the Zcash, I don't own that Zcash anymore. I spend it, and now the new owner of Zec will have this new note that will have its own nullifier, etc. And the chain goes forward. So that's basically in a nutshell what happens. And the difference is that you can't go looking for shielded nodes in the blockchain because you won't be able to see them until the owners reveal their nullifiers and spend them. But even though then you won't be able to see any details of that spending. You only see the transaction, and that's it. Like the block header, the transaction ID, and the fee.
Okay, and the non-shielded transactions, they just act as Bitcoin transactions, right? Like I will have my unsigned, right? Like
the tricky part is that you can go from one protocol to the other. Like if you have shielded nodes and you provide me your transparent address, for example, like when you deposit into near intents, what actually happens is that I'm de-shielding my nodes, and those nodes will now be revealed their value, right? And they will belong as to the new Zcash transparent address that the near intent UI has given me to deposit. But the near intents or neither anyone out there will be able to know who I am or what is the address I'm sending those shielded nodes from, which gives you this possibility of being shielded and then selectively choose when to interact with the transparent blockchain. And that's the same when you withdraw. Usually, for example, when I want to buy some Zec and somebody, let's say somebody pays me USDT and I want to buy Zec with it. So I go to the new intent and say, hey, okay, I'll deposit this USDT, and then I want to exchange it with Zec. So then I'll have to provide my withdraw address, and Near currently supports transparent addresses only. So I can just grab my wallet. I can grab either my Zingo wallet or my Sashi wallet or Y wallet, and just copy my transparent address and put in the UI of Near intents. I will tap withdraw, and it will send me the transparent Zec. So while it's like Zingo or Sashi, they are shielded first. So they'll make you always shield your coins before you send them anywhere else. So they will just pick up that transparent address and say, okay, let's shield this fund. So they will send the transparent Zec into one of your shielded addresses, and those 50 formerly USDT now converted into Zec will be shielded and jump off the transparent pool into the shielded pool, and then you won't see where they are in the block explorer. You will see a transaction where there were some Zec as input, and there were some shielded outputs and some fee, and that's it.
So I was wondering, because for example, we have this concept in Near called chain abstraction, right? And we have basically an MPC that allows us to sign transactions for other protocols, right? So you have a Near account. I don't know if you're familiarized with this, but maybe there's people watching that is not familiarized with this. But basically, you have your Near account, and you have the MPC network that you can just think of it as a wallet. And basically, by making your account call a smart contract on chain, you will get a signature for random bytes. Those random bytes can particularly be a transaction in Bitcoin, a transaction in Ethereum, right? Or in this case, a transaction in Zcash for what you were saying, like a transparent address, right? So I was wondering, do you think that you will give up too much privacy if, for example, I have my Near account? I use my Near account through Near intents to get some Zcash and withdraw that Zcash into here's my Near account, here's my Zcash, to deposit it in a Zcash account that my Near account can control, right? Like by signing transactions. So now my Near account can sign transactions for this Zcash account, right? Now imagine that I want to, like shield this the Zcash that I have in my transparent account. For that, I guess that I would have to like use my Near account to sign a couple of messages, but I will sign those couple of messages through the MPC. So everything, everyone will be see like what kind of message I'm trying to sign. So do you think that that will make it not transparent at all? Because like there I'm going to be giving away like, hey, I'm actually depositing in this shielded account, and therefore that's already my shielded account. It makes no sense anymore.
To shield from the MPC, I will have to like look it up really into detail, but there are a couple of things that you will have to do. But maybe like you could have a if you have the same account address derivation in a shielded wallet that you control, then you could create, for example, the Zcash dev tool on the CLI. You could create a Zcash, a partially created Zcash transaction, which is a format that is inspired on the partially created Bitcoin transaction, which actually is all the metadata necessary to create a non-signed or non-authorized transaction. So then that transaction, the only thing that it's lacking is the signature. So then if you can sign that PZZT, depending on what you reveal of it in the blockchain, then that's how much privacy you'll be giving up in the process. But you can definitely sign the transaction separately from the transaction creation process. And what do I bring this up? It's because to create a zero knowledge proof, you need a certain things that it will be pretty complicated to like you have to basically create a way for a near intent to know how to grab a viewing key and sync the part of a blockchain to create the commitments and all the moon math to actually create the zero knowledge proof. So that heavy loading process, maybe you can do it with a CLI wallet or some wallet of some kind that is Zcash dedicated, and then the signature process you could delegate it to the near MPC. But it will have to support like red DSA signatures, for example, for Orchard. So it's obviously some heavy lifting, probably not something that you can do before Sunday. Well, maybe if you can, I guess you win the hackathon, maybe.
Yeah, we all offer you a job, right?
Yes, yes. I don't know. Like people will offer you some jobs, probably.
And actually,
yeah,
sorry for the interruption. And
no,
these are great ideas, but I would love to read what the people are building for this hackathon. So, for the listeners who are hacking this opportunity, please share your thoughts and your project on the comments. And if you have any question, and regarding these operations, Guillermo, how do you foresee that you can leverage an agent for this transaction? going beyond this, like interface improvement, or avoiding the user experience using an agent, how to improve these decisions and these callings using an agent.
Well, actually, I really like the ideas that Paco already shared, like saying, hey, how, like, I'm gonna be doing something that I suppose that is private in Zcash. How safe, my agent think that this is, and what we were talking so far, like what we have been talking so far, is actually very relevant, right? Like, because it might be hard to maybe create all of these shielded transactions or like this concept of shielded accounts in pure near blockchain with pure smart contracts calls to the MPC, but agents are actually arbitrary Python code. So you could offload a lot of this logic into libraries that maybe already exist, or libraries that at least like can exist, or libraries that in the worst case scenario just use external services, right? Like you just call some service that already does the heavy lifting for you, and therefore like your agent could be the one that just says like, okay, I use near intents in order to be onboarded into Zcash. Now I used all the Zcash technology to do like a private payment. Now I can prove that I made that payment, or through the like the shielded payment, I just give the instructions on how something should behave or where should I get the answer. And again, arbitrary code, I can do whatever I want. I can just wait until I see that common answer and then come back to my user and say like, hey, guess what? I just bought something for you, and you didn't have to reveal that you actually pay with Gile.near, where you keep, like a certain amount of money. Because this is something that we keep forgetting in blockchain, about like how being people think that sometimes you just want to hide things because you're doing something bad, but sometimes you also don't want to be super transparent, right? Like I have my account with a certain amount of money, and I don't want people to know what money I have, because that like might become like a target of advertisement. I might become I don't want you to know what I was doing, like what are my interests on chain, or like I want some like when I buy with my debit card, I don't expose my whole life to the shop that I have in the corner of my house, right? And that just doesn't happen when I
Yeah.
use Near or any other normal cryptocurrency, because
Yeah.
like there's a link, there's an account linked to that payment. So
Yeah.
the agent could use all of this technology to say, hey, I offboarded to a private place, so you don't have to be exposed and expose your whole financial life.
Yeah, something that would be like tapping into something you said. First, I love something that Chris Nadicom, from a core developer of Zcash from ECC, said that like there's no like a free economic system without privacy, because basically if you have a shop or you have a store and you have different kind of customers, like it's probably that you have some price policies that are private to you and are the base of your business model, and it's probable that you don't charge the same amount to those same people. Like for example, you have customers are regular customers, and then you have a courtesy discount for them, but not necessarily you don't want that to know for new customers or for your competitors to know. And if you like use a transparent blockchain and your competitors can figure out or can send a fake customer to get acquainted of your Bitcoin usage, and if you're not like a super hacker that you know how to derive your accounts well, or for some reason your Bitcoin wallet just mismanages your addresses, it can reveal a lot of things. And even though like you manage super well, like with the correct hardware, will be able to, or with the correct agent, in this case, you will be able to tell like what are the payments related to this store or to this address. So with Zcash allows you to run your business in a private way, so that you can have your you don't have to worry about like managing addresses in a very complex way for every customer, and you can just like hand your shield address and for payments, and nobody will be able to figure out uh, what the amount is that you received, or and etc. But something that would be real cool to see is, for example, something that Zcash unfortunately lacks is merchant like merchant tools. So if you can use near intents to help merchants provide Zcash payments, and even if it is transparent Zcash, it would be really useful for the Zcash community and the ecosystem.
That's a very sorry.
No, please. No, go ahead.
That's a very interesting point, right? Because then you can actually use the advantages of near, like for example, link drops, and just like handle the complex logic of adding financial logic into that application on near, right? And all of the onboarding in near, and all of the maybe offboarding if you want to send something to someone, but then through intents you do it privately in Zcash, right? So then I'm just saying like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm paying you, and just follow this link to pay, and all of that, like on the surface you have nears, and on the background you have like Zcash to make it private.
Yeah, for example, if you can make an intent that can take an arbitrary amount of USDT on any chain and like automatically route it to ZEC or the other way around, it would be really awesome, because then if I'm a merchant and I want to, I don't know, give you a payment, a payment method. Merchants don't care about the cryptonomics. What they need to do, like merchants are not hodlers. They don't care about the different projects. What they need to do is to sell whatever they're selling and cover the costs and have the revenue. So they don't need volatility to eat up their costs, covering their costs, or neither eating up their revenue. So crypto payments are convenient for hodlers, but we want merchants to have the convenience of being able to offer the payment method. And then if they want to profit and play with their crypto, it's up to them, but we don't want the payment rails to actually have anything to do with that. So it's not betraying Satoshi's vision to actually just let merchants convert to some fiat stablecoin, because what we want is the opposite. We want to be able to spend our crypto, and we want the merchants to be in touch with crypto and get acquainted with, and be able to continue to run their businesses and not let volatility make any damage to them and make them withdraw from crypto payment rail. So this will be a really good next thing to have. Like some payment rail for ZEC will be a total win.
Actually, this is one of the craziest session of giving away ideas for Hackathon. Thank you very much. But you're pointing to very sophisticated solutions that are needed on these use cases. And so far, there isn't like nobody's asking anything on the comments. So first of all, thank you very much for the ideas, because are really, really great. And these are real use cases for this technology. And I would like to review with you guys what are the proper and the best channels for the hackers who wants to ping you or ask for like some help on this weekend. We get some channels. We get a Telegram group, the channel of the Zcash Telegram group for DevHub Collective, sorry, for Hackbox Collective, but also you get the Zcash Discord. You're looking at the link on the screen. Guille, something that you may add where to find some help fixing problems with intents?
Yeah, so actually there is we have documentation in the near site, And very important, we not only have documentation on like what near intents are, we also have a whole tutorial about how to deposit into near intents, how to use it to swap from one coin to another, from one asset to another, and also how to withdraw into any type of account. So docs.near.org/chain abstraction/intents, that's like the the source of truth for everything about near intents. And we are around the Telegram channel, so if you have any questions, please do ask them.
And also, you have a link for dogs on Zcash, Paco, right?
Yes. In I think that the best thing is to check out the Zcash read the docs, also ZHub, which is like zhub.wiki, which has a really good tutorials on everything Zcash, like from zero to hero. And also the Discord channel, the research and development channel is very good to reach developers. Um, and and there are a lot of like people, not only like the core developers, but also Zcashers that will be able to help you out, probably there.
Awesome. Well, I guess that this will be a short session. I guess that people are shy, or they are just, you just blow their minds with their idea, and they are going to panic regarding their own project. So just last minute advice for the hackers regarding the facing like 48 hours plus until the deadline. Paco shared great ideas last time we talked for the hackers. Guille, what would be your advice for the people who have been hacking to actually deliver, and please submit your project. On the Taika, it's quite easy to do the submission, so just don't fail on the submission. Even if you achieve just a part of your main idea, go for it and submit. Guille, what would be your advice for hackers?
My main advice will be the same that I give for every hackathon, which is, do remember that this is a hackathon, and the people evaluating it remembers that it's a hackathon. So I often see people think that if they don't have like a production grade project that is like literally as good as near intents, which took like 10 senior developers 6 months, like if I cannot do that in 48 hours, then I'm useless. And that's not the case. We are always like looking at the code, knowing that you had to write it in 48 hours or in like 2 weeks or in a month, or it doesn't matter. We know that it's a hackathon, and therefore, if you build something, we can forgive small quirks. We can forgive, like the button that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work, or like the service that is on and off because you use some free provider and it takes 50 seconds to pick it up. Sometimes I even go and just read the code and say like, will this work? Because I didn't manage to make it work, but like, because of some dependency. But will this work? Yes. Is the idea good? Yes. Can I see that, if I, a senior developer that is knowledgeable, take you and help you for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, we can make this into like a prototype or like an MVP. So then for me, it's a good project. So remember, it doesn't have to be production ready. It doesn't have to compete, with the best wallet of Zcash or like the best project in here. It just has to be a good idea and showcase that with time and appropriate help, that could become a real project. Because that's most of the time what we are searching for, like, right? Not necessarily like a project that we would just say like, hey, great, now go on your own. We're searching for someone that, for a team that we can say, perfect, now you have my attention, and moreover, you have resources and my help. So that's the point. Like, don't overthink it. It's much better, like, everyone will overthink it and not send it. Therefore, if you just send it, you already have a huge advantage over the rest. So please submit your project.
Awesome. Any something that you will add on top, Paco?
No, I think that's a perfect closing argument for this live stream.
Okay. Again, thank you so much, guys. And if the people who are watching this live, go and watch it again. You got great ideas for your project on this hackathon. And I get that's it. Happy hacking, and remember the submission deadline this Sunday at midnight UTC.
Happy hacking, everyone.
Thank you,
Happy
thank you
hacking.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.